I'm Kurt Shimmers. Every day, fortunes are gained and lost in the financial markets. News, trends, and even geopolitical events shape your financial landscape. Join me and my expert guests right now on Traders Nation. Welcome. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Dynamite and I have got a fantastic show. Allison Ostrander is going to be with us here today. She's a director of risk tolerance and options trader specialist over there at Simpler Trading. We're going to be talking about the huge investments coming into these cannabis stocks and what's going on there. In fact, Canada's got across-the-board legalization coming up. We're going to see what kind of stocks she's looking at and her list. Plus, Don and I are back on our list. Cannabis, we're going to be talking about that here today. And data centers taking a hit. Tech and NASDAQ here today. All that, stocks, guests, and a lot more. Stay tuned right here. We'll be right back.
Traders Nation, if you promise not to tune out, we promise not to talk about you while you're gone. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Get Pro Online DVD Trader today. Whether you're an experienced trader or just beginning, you'll improve your skills dramatically. Click on the Knowledge Center button to order your copy today. Traders Nation. Delivering what you want when you want it. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Live.
It's on the whole time.
Bringing traders coverage of the markets, solid trading strategies, potential hot stock movers, world-class guests, informative callers, and unsurpassed market chatter for traders to take all the way to the bank.
You guys got some great stuff coming out. I mean, the great station.
Stay on top.
This is always changing. It's always fresh. Something new.
Stay tuned in. Traders Nation.
It's always something to look forward to.
Clearly, you can hear the difference. Traders Nation. It's the Traders Nation Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Forbes, and you're watching Traders Nation.
Yeah, Steve Forbes on Traders Nation. Remember that time we talked about the flat tax revolution?
That's right.
Yeah, it's great. Great guest, Steve Forbes, presidential candidate, editor-in-chief of Forbes magazine. You know the guy. Great interview. You can check that over at tradersnation.com or over at our YouTube channel, right, Don? Plus, wherever other fine broadcasting content can be found for Traders Nation. Hey, Don, real quickly, I want to let everyone know about a Pro Online Trader DVD. If you listen to the stocks we talk about here today, because we're going to be talking about moving averages, dropping, support, resistance, we're going to be talking about all that stuff here today. If it sounds Greek to you, man, and you want to know how to learn our language, you can certainly learn it fast over at tradersnation.com. Get a copy of Pro Online Trader DVD. Click on that More button, and we'll make sure you're taken care of, okay? We're going to ship this out to you like priority, so you have like 3 days. You order today, you can have it fast. Pro Online Trader DVD, tradersnation.com today. Click on that More button. Hey, Don, topic of the show today, cannabis, right? The growing industry is huge. We got some cannabis stocks on our list today. Our guest, certainly Allison, we're going to be talking about some cannabis. Where do you want to start?
Well, first of all, let's kind of just review the market. This is a marketplace that is just exploding.
Yeah.
And these numbers are just astounding insofar as the growth in North America. We're talking about going from roughly $14 billion to $63 billion by 2024. So that by itself tells us how rapidly growing the market is. And if we take a look at these stocks, and there are a lot of them out there that are in this business,
sure,
we can start with this CGC, one of the world leaders in cannabis.
Yeah.
Canopy growth.
Yep.
And here it is. That's getting hit a little bit. Well, it's down $1. That's nothing for today.
Sure.
Markets are down a little pressure, but this one trades at around $49. Where do we have it here? $48.57.
Yeah.
And a lot of shares trading. So here it is. This is one of the big ones in the trade.
Yeah. So certainly CGC on our list here today. Canopy Growth Corp. Charlie Golf Charlie is the phonics for that one. Stock, it looks like it's completed its rollover. Bring your charts up on this one. Looks like it's completed its rollover, and it did find support there at that $48.30 range, Don, like we mentioned on the last show of Traders Nation, okay? Possible reversal to the upside. Today's the second day, but man, during the preview of the show here today, We had a green candle, we had a red candle, we had a green candle. So it's trying to make its decision how it's going to land here today. We won't know till the end of the trading session, but we'll see. If it lands, if it ends in the day green candle, that's 2 green candles. Okay, one more day of a confirmation, you got yourself a reversal. Okay, that's what we need. I'm looking for that confirmation, 3rd day. That's what I like to do. Some people confirm 2 days. I like to go 3 days. Yeah, I don't get the absolute bottom on a reversal. So what, right? But I'm more confident on a 3-day candle, green candle reversal. CGC should be on your list here today. Canopy Growth Corp. John, let's go on to Cron, C-R-O-N. Okay. Yep. Cronus Group currently trading at $10.36 here today. 2.1 million shares exchanging hands. Average volume on Cronus is about 10.2 million shares. Listen, it's struggling at these particular levels. It dropped below its 21-day moving average. I'm still looking at support around $9.35 for Cronus. I'm not saying it's going to go there because that's literally like a buck away from where we're sitting at right now, but that's where the support level is. There's a lot of real estate between here and there if it continues to drop. I don't know if it's going to. Keep an eye on it. It should be on your list anyways, okay? There's a lot of volatility in these stocks, right, Don?
Well, this stock was trading at around $3.
Yeah.
At the start of the year.
Yeah.
So here we are trading at 10.25. It's down $0.50 today.
Right.
But this is another one that's in the crowd. Now, interestingly enough about this stock, this is one of the stocks that sits inside the ETF. MJ is the symbol on that. We'll put that to the side for the moment.
Sure.
But I'm concentrating on stocks here that are trading inside the ETFs, and that gives a little bit of credibility insofar as the due diligence being done on these companies. So Crone is one that fits that criteria right now, and it's sitting here, like I mentioned, down about $0.50 today on a market that's under pressure today.
Yeah, huge pressure on the market today. In fact, in NASDAQ, we can touch on that briefly too, Don. NASDAQ down, tech's taking a hit today. Certainly, towers, data centers actually are going to be on our list here today. We're going to be talking about data centers taking a huge hit. But we want to we haven't talked about data centers in a while. We'll talk about that. And then in potential opportunities, even in a down market, even though they're taking hits, there's some opportunities coming here because those data centers are solid companies, and that future for data is huge. Anyways, ACBBF. Like your BFF, Don.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is Aurora.
Yeah. Aurora.
Yeah.
Aurora.
And this is another one that sits inside the ETF, the Cannabis ETF, which is MJ is the symbol on that. But this is another one giving it a little bit of legitimacy insofar as there are a lot of penny stocks in this business right now.
Yeah.
And the company, these companies are just exploding.
Yeah.
This is another stock that has exploded. So keep your eyes on this one. ACBFF is the symbol on that.
Yeah, ACBFF. Bring your charts up on this one, folks. Okay, check it out. All right. Currently trading
Aurora Cannabis. This is a mouthful.
Yeah, trading at $9.55. Big. If you see the charts on this, and I'm hoping you're bringing them up like I suggest, huge intraday volatility. The swings on these stocks, and some of these, especially Aurora, huge intraday, being traded. Stocks moving quite rapidly during the day. You really got to have a stomach of steel to trade some of these, okay? So check this out. ACBFF hit some resistance at that $10 range, Don. So everyone bring your charts up and check out ACBFF, Don.
Now, not for the faint of heart. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
The swing on some of these stocks is enormous, and you got to be careful. That's why we're trying to sort out here the stocks that have had a lot of due diligence done on them. And this is one. Stock's down 20 cents right now. Aurora Cannabis.
Well, and here's the thing too: is stocks move on rumor, right? Sell on news, old school stuff, right, Don? Move on rumor,
buy on the rumor.
Yeah, buy on rumor, sell on news. But nonetheless, there's a lot of rumors that's just circling around this industry. And why? Is the speculation of decriminalizing the space on the federal government. Canada's doing it right here on the 17th of October. Across the board, It's going to be totally legal for recreational consumption, Don. You like that? Recreational consumption. And so Canada's already stepping up, going to do that, and that's not a big surprise for Canada. But there's so much speculation that's swirling around this space. What's going on? There's big money coming in and investing in some of these smaller companies, and that's where you're seeing this drive from $1, $3 up to $10, $20, whatever, in some of these cannabis stocks. So it's a very volatile area. It's a brand, this is an emerging area. I mean, Don, this is as fresh as a bud coming off the vine. And these things are going to have this kind of volatility. You should expect it. My thinking is that, man, you have got to be a really good trader to be involved in some of these cannabis stocks. And if you are, you can potentially make some good bank in this area. Don?
And by the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, getting back to Canopy Growth, we have to remember that Constellation Brands, STZ, has dumped an enormous amount of money into this company, giving it even more credibility. And as I mentioned, that stock's gone from about $3 to over $10 right now. Canopy Growth.
Okay. All right. Canopy Growth, once again, CGC. Whoa. Don, we're out of time. All right. What we'll do, we've got Allison Ostrander. She's coming up next. We're going to be talking a little bit more about cannabis here today and what's going on out there. On the other side of that, we'll shotgun some data centers and what's going on there. All right, Don? All right.
You got it.
Coming up next, Allison Ostrander, Director in Risk Tolerance and Options Traders. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Traders Nation salutes America. Stay strong, stay proud, and stay in the green with us. Traders Nation Live, bold, and packed for profit every weekday morning.
Traders Nation, live, bold, and packed for profit. Sign up today for our weekly HTML newsletter and check out the Traders Nation store for products to enhance your stock trading day. Traders Nation, what you want, when you want it. Traders Nation.
Hey, Jeff Carlisi here from 38 Special, and we're rocking it up right here with Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to have Allison Ostrander with us here today. She's Director of Risk Tolerance and an options trader specialist with a simpler trading. Allison, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, you're more than welcome. So we just started covering a lot of cannabis stocks here on Traders Nation. Certainly, a lot of small cap companies are emerging out there. They're getting some attention from these large cap companies, large amounts of investments coming into them. And then now we're seeing across the board legalization, like up in Canada, for instance, October 17th. This is some legitimizing going on. Should Main Street start taking cannabis serious?
Well, I definitely think that there is a line here where we're definitely going more towards legitimization. So I definitely think if you're one of those people who like to jump in early, that jumping in now is definitely not a bad idea. And it's not just in Canada that we're seeing this legalization start to come through. There are many countries, including states around the world, starting to allow for legalization or for medical purposes. I know recently Germany allowed for the import not only of the oils, but as well as the flowers. So there's a lot of stuff going on worldwide that I think is allowing for more tolerance around this. And I think a lot of the pharmaceutical companies are also starting to take notice of this, and if they want to stay with the game, will need to start stepping in there as well. So I definitely don't think that this is a bad area to get into. And if you did want to maybe protect yourself against one company maybe, going down or something like that, you could always look at the MJ ETF and jump in there and kind of have a little bit more protection around the sector.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Certainly hemp, people look towards hemp as far as like a medical advancement in helping folks. So it has potentially a lot of medical conditions can be helped by that. And I think the pharmaceuticals are wise to wise up to that. And I think there's an area for them. I mean, pharmaceutical is huge, right, as it is. Right. But I think if they come into this space, I think it would be a good idea for them. Your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's absolutely a smart move to do. And you're actually seeing this occur also on the cannabis side. For example, There's a company that will be, I believe, coming out soon within the U.S. market called Aurora. It is a company up in Canada.
Yeah.
Not only are they trying to pair with other companies like Coca-Cola to make cannabis-infused beverages,
right,
but they're also a company that has been big on trying to acquire positions in other cannabis companies as well as within pharmaceutical companies to kind of streamline their own cannabis medical products. So I definitely would start taking note of companies like Aurora who are, diving into maybe the pharmaceutical companies buying up from themselves to definitely streamline this a bit more and, stay ahead of the rest of the curve on this cannabis growth, if you will, within the world.
I wonder if is there any buzz going around, for instance, like the FDA? I mean, there's a lot of cannabis use, like the oils, infusion into some of these soft drinks. What about the FDA? Is there any? Are they touching base on this? Are they going to be able to keep up with this? The government's really slow to move on some of this stuff. I mean, they really are, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I think the government is slow, and I think with some of the talk that you've seen out there for years now, that maybe they're starting to pick up as well. I do know recently. I believe the FDA allowed for some import from Canada so that they could start testing out the product themselves.
Okay.
So the FDA is kind of up on it. I do know that there were talks politically about, maybe not allowing some of the CEOs of these companies into the U.S. and kind of like barring them. But I think with as much business as we have stateside itself within these companies and what the FDA is looking to do, I think that, if anything, is just more talk than what is actually happening behind the scenes.
Well, let me ask you, since Canada is going across the board, folks are looking towards the United States as far as legalizing marijuana. States have gotten onto it. But as far as on the federal level, folks are looking to the feds. Some guidance, right? But if there's like this political thing where they're not going to allow CEOs of some of these cannabis coming in, that's not a good sign for folks looking to see legalization across the United States on a federal level, is it?
No, it's not. And I do think there will definitely be some, unfortunately, red tape hurdles that we'll still have to get across here legally on the federal level. Yeah. But I do think the FDA starting to turn to allow that import of the flower to allow for testing and things like that is definitely a step in the right direction and a good sign that at least I think on a medical point, it's starting to get hard to ignore that.
Right.
Maybe if we don't go for full legalization right away, we could at least start to see it increase to a medical point to allow the benefits of that to occur for people who really need it.
And I would love to see that because from what I'm reading, I've read it for quite some time, long before it became a popular item to follow, certainly has its medical benefits, okay? It did 100 years ago, it does today. Same thing, difference. So I'm thinking that if the feds say, okay, I think that would be the catalyst for the industry in the United States. It would be huge. I mean, we're seeing big moves now, but the feds say, okay, that would be a huge catalyst for the cannabis industry in the U.S., right?
Oh, absolutely. I think if the feds started to come out and say, we're moving towards legalization, we're starting to look at it even from a medical standpoint, you're going to see a lot of these cannabis stocks jump up in price. So, like I mentioned, if you're one of those people that want to get their foot in the game early, you're maybe not as concerned about the legal matters around it, then certainly jumping into something like the MJ sector or into a company like CGC or TLRY that's already traded over here is certainly a safer bet. TLRY, of course, is a little bit more volatile, so if you're looking for something maybe not as drastic a movement, definitely CGC is another great company that is now available to trade in the U.S., and it definitely has a little bit more stability in the pricing, I would say.
Yeah, so you must have been reading my mind because there is a lot of volatility in some of these cannabis stocks. I mean, let's face it, some of these stocks were sitting at 50 cents, $1, $3, what have you. Now they're 10, 20 bucks and even higher. $100, $300, right? So where do you feel would be, so somebody wants to come in as a long-term investor, forget about trading as a day trader, swing trader, whatever. Long-term investor, somebody says, you know what, I think this is finally, in years, this thing is going to come out and play out well for me as an investor, long-term investor in the United States as far as the industry. Where would somebody come in at? Doesn't have a lot of volatility because a lot of people don't have a steel stomach like traders, right? So where do you think, some of these intraday swings are huge. Where do you think they should come in? What would be an area or a company? Is there ETFs or anything like that you would, I know you mentioned MJ, but is there anything out there that most folks could stomach a trade for a long term.
Right, and no, and I do agree with that. Something like TLRY, where you saw that over 100-point move within a day, I would probably stay away from if you're a longer-term trader,
sure,
and not playing those intraday movements.
Yeah.
But I think one like CDC is a great one. Now, it definitely has volatility. I will say, from where it was trading just at the start of 2017, around $6 to
right.
where we are today, around $50. It's seen a big jump.
Yeah.
But compared to something like TLRY, it's definitely a lot more stable. And I think when you take a look back at a longer time frame, for those of you who like to chart like I do, and take a look at a weekly or monthly chart, it's still in a very nice bullish long-term trend. And right now, actually, we're seeing a pullback on a weekly chart to where it might be a good opportunity to buy. We still can move a little bit lower down to anywhere between $42 to $31 as longer-term support levels.
Yeah.
But if we started to sell out at those levels, I think that would be an excellent point to jump in. That might be, a time I jump in myself.
Awesome.
The other thing that I'm personally looking for is I'm kind of waiting for that Aurora company to be listed on the U.S. Stock Exchange, because I would love to jump into that when it's listed and kind of just play that very long-term Buffett style, if you will.
We're out of time. Where can we find you, Allison?
You can find me at the Simpler Trading website, helping educate people along the way.
Head on over there today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. SimplerTrading.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Great interview with Allison. SimplerTrading.com. Head on over there today. Hey, Don, let's shotgun out a couple things. Data centers. Okay, so tech has taken a huge hit today, and NASDAQ is down. Some of these DLR stocks rolled over. EQIX needs to hold at these particular levels. Core site trading right now right at and below the 200-day moving edge. So if you bring the charts on some of these need to hold at these levels. We've seen some sell-off going on in some of these data centers. Don, your thoughts?
Well, on the data centers, once again, to repeat myself, nothing's really changed. These are strong companies.
Yeah.
They're all real estate investment trusts. The one company that has been down for the year, but it's a great, in my opinion, tower company, is Crown Castle.
Oh,
CCI is the symbol on that.
Yeah.
And this company pays a very handsome dividend, and they're busting in to this 5G. So they have a tremendous opportunity for the small cells or 5G.
Yeah.
5G, by the way, is being rolled out this week in 4 markets by Verizon.
Okay.
So CCI is one we want to keep an eye on.
All right, we're out of time. 2 notes. I saw a CCI truck on the road yesterday, and the second note is on some of these data companies being dragged down by the market. That's all it is. It's an underdraft.
That's right.
Okay. Don, do you own anything?
No, none of them.
I don't either. I don't own anything, and the stocks we talk about today, they're not buy or sell recommendations. You need to know that.